Testing, testing, testing. This time I'm going to make sure that this is actually streaming. And it's actually streaming to my channel. Excellent connection. I think it's going to work. So, before Louis Rossmann realizes that he left the Louis Live channel stream key on my Open Broadcaster, what would you do if you were in possession of the Louis Live channel stream key? Obviously, stream something, but what? I don't know. I want to hear your ideas. Because of course he'll change it in about 9 seconds as soon as he realizes. But until then, WWYD, what would you do with Louis's stream key? I'm all out of ideas for this potential troll. So I'm counting on you guys. In the meantime, I'm going to fix Peter's phone because I got to get out of here soon. So what's up with Peter's phone? I thought this was going to be a really good one for a stream because it's all about the crisp visual exam. So Peter's deal is that he's got an iPhone 2020 SE. So that's the second generation SE. It's the one that looks just like an iPhone 8. But it's not an iPhone 8, and it's got a couple of special things that make it different. So, is everyone streaming? Yes. Me, Tim is not streaming, although it says he's streaming, but it's actually me, and we're streaming to Louis's channel, except I stopped that. It's very confusing today, I get it. I'm going to stream Peter's phone because it's in front of me, and I need to get it out of here. So the deal is he's got an iPhone 2020 SE2, the second generation, and it just stopped working. So his note said that he was using it, it got hot. That's always a great clue, right? As a physician of phones, heat equals short circuit. That's everyone's favorite problem. So Peter says it got hot and then it stopped working. And then he tried plugging it in, nothing happened. He put it on the wireless charger, nothing happened. He took it to a repair shop who put a battery in it, and it still doesn't turn on, and he has some important data that he wants to get out of this iPhone, so he sent it here. So here we have Peter's 2020 iPhone SE2. And if you look at it, so here's just the housing, and Peter said we could make a YouTube video of his case. It does not look like drop, no cracked screen. It doesn't look like there's even the slightest bend. There's really no bend, and there's no liquid damage inside here. It looks like a beautiful mint condition, straight from the Apple Store, 2020 SE. So I don't know. So next step is to take the board out, and that's where we are now. So I have taken the board out, and for you guys that can see the thumbnail to this video, I want to know if you can identify just with your eyes what's wrong with this phone. That's why I picked it for the stream. So we're going to kind of take a look around a little bit. I've already desoldered this shield, so I will peel that off. And let's just take a first look, and then we're going to try to put it on DC power to kind of get a hint to see whether or not there's a short circuit here at all or not. But let's take that first trip around the phone. So we're looking for water, we're looking for technician damage, we're looking for burned up looking stuff. And it can be difficult to know, you know, like as I look at this guy, is that normal? I don't know. Is that a crack? I don't know. You can try to clean it off. I think that's probably normal. I also think that somebody stole my Q-tips, and I think that was probably Brad. So we will take it out on his station later when he's not here. Right, Brad? Oh, okay. Yep, so that was just a little bit of dirt. So we have to learn what's normal weird and what's weird when we're trying to learn how to do the art of the crisp visual exam. So all of this looks normal. What do you guys think? Cruising down here. You know, there's all kinds of things that look like they might be weird. Like, is that guy supposed to be chocolate and vanilla like that? Or is that weird? I don't know. And then we're looking around here. Are these marks weird? Nope, that's just goop. That's pretty normal. Is this water? No, it's just the shiny looking underfill that's clear almost, and it's reflecting back the light. So that's normal. What about this? What about the underfill overflow? This is just underfill that's splashed up on the chip. So also perfectly normal. If we wanted to, we could just scratch that off. That is all normal. Here is the charging chip. Is it going to be charger damage? That makes a lot of sense, and I bet this is charger damage, but that looks normal. That looks normal. What do you guys think? Anybody in chat? Do you see anything that jumps out at you as weird? Bergwick says it has to be the coil. Has anyone actually been able to find a board view and schematics for the SE2? Board view, yes, and we are going to use the board view later, and if you want to follow along now, you can get the board view at iPadRehab.store. ZXW has the board view for the 2020 SE. All right, so we're gonna keep on cruising. Now, what I like about this is there is not a schematic for the 2020 SE. So you kind of have to work with the iPhone 8 and see what you can do. That's why learning that art of visual exam is so important. Now on the top of the board, I haven't taken off this shield. Usually there's not much under there. Let's peek under here. Sometimes stuff can hide under here. What's going on under here? Let's take a peek. Anything going on under there? No water, nope. Sometimes there's a little bit of salt that can be between these two, and there's a force DFU pin down there that I've seen get corroded before, but there's no water damage in this case. All right, and then under here, what do you think? What is it? What are we looking for? What do we see? Is this a little bit of goop? Anything? Here's a little green guy. Is that weird? Nope. All right. And up at the connectors. How about this guy? Is he out of place? Nope. Up at the connectors. Seems like I don't know what. So there we go. Did you see it? We have already glanced over the thing that needed to jump out at us. Did you see it? All right, next step. We got a discolored solder joint on the cap. What's the issue? No power at all. Okay, I hope you guys can find it. All right, we're gonna move on to the next step, which is to say nothing jumped out at me. Nothing jumped out at me on visual exam with that first pass. So now let's go to the DC power supply and see if we can get a hint. Maybe there's going to be some kind of a clue what kind of a problem we have. So let's do it. Let's go to dun 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 dun. One day I'll learn how to be a weatherman. It's so hard. That is right there. All right, there's a front coming in. The temperature is going to drop as the front moves across and brings a lot of rain. I don't know how those guys do it. I mean, I have so much respect for the weatherman. All right, DC power. This is our squid, and we're going to find what connector of the traditional iPad Rehab squid here, which one is going to plug in? Because I'll tell you what, there's not one marked SE 2020. So who knows which connector do we plug in? Hint. Big hint, it is not the iPhone 8. Even though this phone looks identical to the iPhone 8, it does not use the iPhone 8 battery. And this is a huge troll, and this is one of my videos that I recorded this summer, and then we never edited it, and it's still over there somewhere. It'll probably never turn into a video, but man, if you don't recognize when somebody comes in with an iPhone 2020 SE and it looks like an iPhone 8, it's so easy to just think it's an 8. They aren't going to know. And then when you go to plug in the battery, you can really get into trouble. So I'll give you a chance to answer. Who knows? Let's see. I think it's iPhone 11, says just a normal user. And another guy says iPhone 10. A bunch of people said iPhone 11. You are correct. It is, dun, 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 dun. Let's look under here. I'll show you. Here is the battery connector, and we're going to thumb through these. This one is the one that says iPhone 8. Now, it's not this one. No, don't plug it in. No, it's not a match. Look, it's not a match. Here we go. See how the iPhone 8, which is the same as iPhone 10, 10s, 10s Max, 10R, that's all the same battery. But see, it's not a match. That one is tiny. So we have to bring out the big gun. The iPhone 11 Pro, and you have to be so careful. One of the other videos that I plan to do is to show you guys that there is a difference in the iPhone 12 series, the 12 Pro Max, the 12. Those are different connectors. You can get into trouble. All right, so here we go. Plugging in, perfect match there. See that? The iPhone 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max, that guy. Now it is connected, and we can see on DC power that we don't have any of that big current leak that we see with the VCC main short. So not that. So now we're going to prompt it to boot to see what kind of category are we in. So let's head over to the power button, and I'm just going to use some tweezers in the power button until I see action. All right, there we go. Do you guys see that? That's it. That's it. DC power says we're in some kind of a quick little loop where it goes 0 to like 10 milliamps, 50 milliamps, 70, 100, nothing. So it's just like flick, flick, flick. You know what it's like? It's like the starter in your car where you're wanting that car to start, so you're just like click, 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 click. That's what's going on with this phone. This is not, it's not going anywhere. So when a phone's like this, we've traditionally, from our long experience fixing phones, we traditionally don't think that this is a short circuit, right? We think that short circuits show high current consumption. Not like this. This is brain dead. This is a phone that usually, not this one, but usually means that its power is usually okay, but it doesn't have the information to really get up and go. That's not what's going on here. And I love this case because it really highlights the connection between this DC power, this brain dead, emphysema, cataract-ridden phone that can't do anything. We're only going to find out the problem by combining the history. Peter said it got hot. Hot equals short, and visual exam. All right, so let's find it. We're going to find it. Let's see who can find it from chat. So let's see. I'm going to give you a hint. We're going to play a little Fortnite here. All right, here we go. This is what is it even called? Owen, I need a Fortnite console. What's it called when there's a circle and then it gets smaller and smaller? Brad, come on, help me out. What the heck? It's it gets, what's it called when the something narrows, the field narrows? Chrissy.
My kids don't play Fortnite.
Smart kids around here, none of them play Fortnite. Fantastic. I mean, Fortnite is kind of dated. Does anybody play The Zone? Yes. I'm baffled. Today you started the live at exactly the same time as Lewis. Well, I'm baffled as to who to follow. I definitely follow Lewis. He's way more charismatic than I do, and he has a lot funnier jokes, and his rants are top notch. So definitely that. Closing the zone closing. All right. Who sees in this zone the problem with Peter's phone? This is an eyeball find only. The power of crisp visual exam. All right, discolored cap joints, top of picture, Bergwerk IT GmbH, which I'm pretty sure is a German word that just means company. Is that right? You got it. Yes. Top rightish discolored cap. I see it. Fantastic. So we will narrow the zone, narrow the zone, narrow the zone. See it now, huh? All right, watch me weatherman this. Boom. Oh, it doesn't work. My little thing is too. It doesn't work. See it? That is hard. That is respect. All right, see it? One of these things is not like the other. One of these caps isn't the same. And it's that one. Right there. Merp, merp, merp. Look at that from far away. This is the kind of thing that really should jump out at you. The power of crisp visual exam. Now, before we just go assume that that's short or anything like that, let's go investigate. Who is that guy? And what is his business? What does he do? And does this have anything to do with why the phone would be, you know, in this sort of hiccuping last gasp state? All right, to ZXW. ZXW, here we go. And before you ask, available at iPad Rehab Supply. That's where you get your ZXW, where I always see some kind of a question about that. Oh, I didn't put this on the available at iPad Rehab .store, which is the new store, iPad Rehab .store, not to be confused with the old store, store.ipadrehab.com. No, the new one, iPad Rehab .store. All right, so let's go to ZXW. Here we are, and ZXW is going to show us exactly what that guy is. All right, so let's zoom in. It was 1 of 3, and it's C2731. Boom. PP1V8S2. PP1V8S2. So we can take a diode mode reading of PP1V8S2. Now, rather than take the diode mode reading on the discolored cap, since the line is short everywhere, if it's short anywhere, we can take the reading anywhere. So let's take it on one of the pretty looking caps that's right above. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and go take a diode mode reading. So we'll get rid of our little sponsor ad and diode mode. One day I will get fancy enough to have the on-screen multimeter, but I think I need some little piece of hardware or doohickey for that. All right, red probe on ground. Survey says 0.001. And if we compared to known good, 0.001 is indeed short to ground. So now we know for sure 1V8S2 is short to ground. But just for fun, let's say, what does 1V8S2 do? Now, here we don't know, because the schematic for the SE 2020 has never fallen off a truck in China. So therefore, we're going to just try to guess using the iPhone 8 and hope that it's close enough. So here we are in the iPhone 8 Plus, which is the only schematic. And if we type in 1V8S2, we can go on a hunt and see what does it do. Okay, so here is 1V8S2, 1V8S2. Here it is, 1V8S2. The origin, the source, the beginning of it all is right here. So I see the word buck conversion, taking main power and reducing it down to create 1V8S2 coil, and this is part of what the power management chip does. So here we are, U2700. U2700 is system power PMU, making all of those different power rails, one of which is this key rail. And this guy, I think, is going to become very important to all of us. So PP1V8S2, we're going to remember you, because I think that we're going to start seeing faults in this line. I think I've seen it like 3 times, and I even think that that phone that Tim Herman was working on when we did that stream when he was here was a very similar fault. So here we are. What else does 1V8S2 do? Once the power management chip takes main, chops it up, shoots out 1V8S2, what does it do? Now, we can just get a clue just from what we know from before. S2, what do we know about S2? Well, phones don't have S2 until now. The great sort of like assimilation of phones and MacBooks that I think Tim was saying in the latest MacBook, they even have a VDD main rather than PP bus, right? So S2 is a word that is in MacBooks, but it's not in phones. So MacBooks have sleep states S5, S4, S3, S0. So S2 seems like one of these sort of like wake up, you know, kind of go from being just sort of laying there overnight but not really on to actually booting up. So sleep state, maybe that's going on. And then 1v8. 1v8 in earlier iPhones, 1v8 was a brainstem rail, and our classic 1v8 always was the rail that was generated by the PMU early on, and it goes to the power button to wake the thing up. So I bet 1v8S2 is going to be like a brainstem kind of function. So let's go on a hunt. 1v8S2, where do you go? What do you do? Here we go. This one's a big one. This is the next page. 1v8S2 is the top power rail that's used to create two very important data lines. Look at that. Through these two pull-up resistors to create, number one, system alive, and number two, PMU to system cold reset when low. Did you see that? There we go. PMU to system cold reset when low. So think about that. PMU to the system cold reset. So what would that mean? The PMU's job is to turn on all the lights. Wake up everybody. It's morning. It's the alarm clock. We're trying to get power into everything. It's time to boot up. The guy, press the power button. Let's go, go, go. And then cold reset. Reset. The PMU pulling everything down. No. Just kidding. Stop. Reset when low. Meaning that line can exist as either a 1 or a 0. It can either be high or it can be low. So all day, every day, if PP1V8S2 is working, it's going to flow through this resistor, filling up system alive. It's going to flow through R3061 and fill up PMU system cold reset, making that line high. So the line is high, the line is high, the line is high. And that is what keeps the system alive. It keeps the system from resetting. It tells the phone everything is okay from the power management chip and to go ahead and boot up. However, if you were to disconnect 1V8S2 from PMU system cold reset, what would happen to it? It couldn't be a 1. It would stay low, and it signals when low. When that line drops to 0, PMU to system cold reset. It's going to tell the system, problem, problem, and it's going to make the PMU click off. And now if you've still hit the power button, it'll try again, click off. Try again, click off. That's exactly what this phone is doing, and I betcha this is why. So even when 1V8S2 is short, it's only getting juice like this. In these little fits and starts as the PMU clicks on, just for a second, just for a second, just for a second. This is going to be a classic feature of PP1V8S2 being either short, not operational, having a problem in PMU system cold reset itself, or a missing R3061. What do you think? And then 1V8S2 goes around to do all sorts of other things. Look at this fun place. Look at that. It's that line that pushes the gate closed on our battery data MOSFETs. These are the guys that get knocked off in the iPhone 8 all the time and make it have that 3-minute reboot loop. And then we've got it plugging in over here to charging chip. We've got it providing power here to audio IC. We've got this line going all over the place. Backlight driver, fingerprint sensor, all over the place. It's a brainstem. CPU data lines, it's everywhere. So there we go. So PP1V8S2, you are our new best friend. This is why it is looping. You got it, Kiki Hobby Repair. This phone is looping because it cannot start up its PMU because this line is a 0. All right, so what is the solution? All right, we are going to do what we always do, and we are going to find the safest way to remove the short circuit to ground, because we suspect that the ugly looking cap, that guy is a wire to ground. The safest way to do that is with the iPad Rehab Short Killer. The iPad Rehab Short Killer, you may be wondering, where can I get such a fine product as the iPad Rehab Short Killer so that I too can safely and effectively get rid of shorts on my board? And the answer is You got it. Available at iPadRehab.store. You can search for iPad Rehab Short Killer and you will find it. The exact one that we use right here for all of our repairs, just like this. And in the most gentle way possible, we are simply going to excise the offending guy. Look at that. Look, he just crumpled just from looking at him. He just fell apart. What a loser. Am I right? Okay. There he is. And now let's see. Do we still have a connection to ground with that ugly looking dude now ejected from our beautiful board? Let's find out. We are going to stick, we'll use the same exact little probe mark there. Red probe on ground in diode mode. And now let's measure 1V8S2. 1V8S2 is now 0.297. We have restored peace and harmony in the 1V8S2 line. It is now juicy and filled with 1V8 so that it can prevent the PMU from constantly restarting because that signal is low. It is a glorious, glorious day. And now, with this guy safely and effectively removed from the board, we are going to see if this board will start up. You might wonder if we are going to put that capacitor back, and the answer is no, because it is one of many, and it is adjacent to a very, look how tiny it is. I am not going to attempt to use hot air to put that back because it would overheat the CPU and make Peter very angry at me when he later watches this stream and sees that I could have gotten data from his phone, but no, I succumbed to the peer pressure of the stream to put that cap back for no good reason and made his CPU overheat and his entire phone not work anymore. He would be very angry. Let's see if hand cam is working. Oh, hand cam has a giant old man's toothbrush right in front of it. Come on, hand cam, get your act together. All right, here we go, hand cam. Good job, buddy. All right, and then we'll stick front cam back on here. Okay, now let's see what happens. We are going to just stick Peter's board roughly back in his housing, and let's see whether or not it can boot up. All right, the knife. Yes, the knife. The knife of redemption. Maybe that would be a better name than the iPad Rehab Short Killer. I kind of like iPad Rehab Short Killer, but the X-Acto knife of redemption also fits the bill. All right, let's not plug in very much. Well, let's actually not leave that under there. Here we go. Lift up, buddy. I've had to resort to wearing my glasses. Yikes. That's really bent. There you go, buddy. All right. And now we'll just plug in charge because it is going to have to charge. This battery is most definitely dead because it was living in a phone that had a short circuit. And Peter said it got really hot. Let's hope Peter's screen works. Okay. And you know what? I am going to see if I can show you guys on, let's see, can we bring back DC power? Will it work? Not with hand cam. Let's see. Let's go here, DC power, and we'll just look at the board. All right, I've got the screen plugged in. And I'm going to plug in the 11 Pro battery connector, not the iPhone 8 battery connector. There we go. And now let's see what happens when we connect the power button. Prompt, prompt, prompt to boot. Ooh, look at that progress. And I see an Apple logo. There's the Apple logo. See it? You can see it's very faint. We can switch over to hand cam so that you can see what it looks like booting up. At least in theory. All right, let's see. Will it boot up? Prompt, prompt, prompt to boot. All right, there's our Apple logo. And we will see if it is going to be good news for Peter. Or is it going to be corrupted data because it had a hole in the brainstem and it probably doesn't like that? Yay! Look at that! Good news for Peter! All right, let's see if he has his passcode. Let's see. Where is it? I have also printed out a recipe for mustard soup, apparently, when I printed out his note. Where is it? In the ticket. I see it. All right, here we go. Touch works. Yay! Important battery mess. Yay! It is great news. Now let's see if it can charge his battery. That's our last real question, right? Because how did it get to be like this? Probably something to do with the charger. So let's see if it can charge up his native battery. So now I've connected Peter's dead battery. Ooh, look at that. Peter's dead battery is not so dead after all. Is this the new one that the shop put in? All right. What do you think, chat? It looks like it's going to be a great day. I like mustard as a condiment, but mustard soup does not sound appealing. Well, one of the MacBooks at MacBook board repair course was filled with Dutch mustard soup. It had come to us all the way from the Netherlands, full of mustard soup. So then we were all like, mustard soup? That sounds gross. And Ken was like, you guys don't have mustard soup? And we're like, no. So it turns out mustard soup is a Dutch delight and that everybody knows about it but us, so we thought we had to try it. So coming soon to a channel near you, mustard soup. Okay, great news for Peter. And that is it for this stream. Hopefully you guys have some excellent ideas on what should I do with the fact that Louis Rossmann left the stream key to his Louis Live channel. And we can do whatever we want. We could get into a Tesla and make a video that says I am Louis Rossmann, and we could ride around and stream it all day, whatever we want, until he changes it. So hopefully you guys have some good ideas. Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you next time.